good, y'all? Episode 76, Deadass Dope Podcast, live and direct. Man, Kelly here, Nisa here,
Always.
Shell's here. For the always. What's good, y'all?
For the always. It's showtime.
Showtime?
Showtime.
It's my uncle.
It sounds like your uncle.
That's me. That's my. Shout out
I
to
hear.
Swiss, man.
That's your roots.
Shout out to my guy, man. How y'all feeling? Y'all feeling good? Y'all hydrated?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm getting there. Shout
Real,
out to
real purified.
Mr. Yo, don't shout them out. They ain't paying us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's don't
Shows
shout
always doesn't want to see nobody succeed
Hey,
but himself in the team.
except us, yeah. Hey,
That's what we found
Yo,
out
that
in the
shit's
group
kinda
chat,
foul.
y'all.
y'all just
Yeah.
found out.
No.
You know,
No, we could tell. That was in your character before.
for decades.
Said the group chat found it out. They're like, huh? I said, listen, just let it live, bro. It's all good. It's all good. Listen, we coming live and direct right now from the iHeart Media Studios in Orlando. Beautiful.
That's who we can shout out to. Shout out to iHeart for having us here,
Shout out to
allowing
them.
us.
We definitely can plug those. I don't know about the water. But listen, I think we're gonna get this started with this big piece of information that came out on Monday, man. Put that up as Monday motivation. Big Hove, man. Billy, we gonna reach a Billy
Billy.
first? Is that what he said?
We're gonna reach your Billy first.
What else he said? He told his wife
My
the
wife,
spiritual
this
shit?
really work.
It works.
I don't do a lie. I run through them all.
Hove, he's home. Hold it. Okay. Yes. So Hove, Big Hove is a billionaire, man. Like we all saw it coming. We all knew it was gonna happen, but
Officially.
it's different when it's real.
When Forbes said
If it was gonna be any hip hop artist, it was gonna be Ho first.
it
I'ma
was
keep it a
almost-
stack.
I almost talked to Dre, but they.
Yeah, okay. But he's a producer. I mean, like a real hip hop artist.
Sorry, Dre. You ain't know.
No, I mean, yeah, but there's more money in production than there is in selling
But
tracks.
Dre still got a classic album.
But I heard with Dre though, like he just has a lot of government withholdings that's keeping him back from being a billionaire with all
Really?
the headphone situations with Apple and all that. So I think that's one of the main reasons why he ain't do it. Keep it a sec. I thought Diddy was going.
Oh, Diddy too, yeah. Diddy too.
I mean,
Diddy
Ciroc
over
is still
Hove though?
popping, bro.
Think Diddy over Hove? Diddy dabbles in a lot of different things, but so does Hove.
Right.
I think Hove dabbles in a lot more business aspects besides hip hop.
I think Hove's thing is just diversification, because not only does he have like businesses, he also has art.
Real estate.
Yeah,
real estate.
that's what I'm saying. He dabbles in a lot of other,
Sports business.
dynamics, sports, realtor, like other than hip hop.
Right.
Diddy has alcohol.
Yeah.
He has some other like he owns
He does
21
producing.
Kookaroos.
Revolt
Okay.
TV.
Oh, he does do Revolt. Okay.
Yeah.
So
what'd you
it
say?
still kind of ties into hip hop. What did you say?
I said he owns 21 Kookaroos. Do you remember where that's from?
What is that?
It's from Get Him to the Greek. I hate that channel.
No, I didn't.
Bro,
if
I
y'all
watched that
hear-
movie. I watched that movie once. I was like,
I don't
So
even think
great.
I've seen that movie.
Diddy bodied that shit. Y'all watching that show Get Him to the Greek? No, he bodied that shit. Anyway, not Dunkaroos, Kookaroos.
I just know Jordan's costs a lot and you got a lot of kids.
But I tell you one thing, he probably has a lot more invested that we don't know about because it's like under the table. But what I did
Dirty
like,
money.
Wait, hello,
Huh? You get it?
He'll probably be the next one there.
yeah, 1,000%,
For sure.
1,000%. What I did like that Forbes did was they mapped out, what he had, Hove, that is like in different tweets, different IG posts and all that, just to succinctly tell you how
Yes.
my man is a billionaire. That shit is hard.
How they just realized he is already one a while ago, probably. Mm-hmm. They just put it together like, oh shit, hold on, this adds up. Carried it through.
That's a
And
fact.
that's that.
He's like, wait a second.
Billionaire.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that. You don't lose that money.
Money. Yeah.
That shit is generational wealth, man. That whole 444 shit is crazy to see, how far he's come. That was what, like 2-3 years ago?
2, I think.
Fast forward to now. Now, I mean, all the different investments that he's made up to this point, even just the music, bro, just owning his own music. How much was it? Like 75?
Yeah, it wasn't even
mils
that
and
much.
shit?
It was crazy. I expected more. I expected these to know.
What, into music, right? But that's what shows you, like I said, the reason why I feel like he hit it is because he dabbled into a lot more things. Music is not, I mean, it's a lot of money for us to see as like outsiders looking in, but once you're in that getting money stage and you're a big baller, you're one of those, man, you realize where the real money actually comes from. Yeah. That's why they use their money and invest into knowledge to expand. And they get into a lot of different ventures.
Or hire somebody that knows what.
Yeah, or do that. But that's smart. You have to think about that before you do it. Mm-hmm. You have to be knowledgeable before you do anything else.
Well, he said it, and I forget what interview it was, but he's like, yo, the genius thing we did was not give up.
Yeah.
Like, we just kept on going. And someone like Hove is someone who always tries to, do better. He's always trying to expand. So
Yeah.
I think that mind state and really, like, I keep on going back to diversification because it's a fact, bro.
Yeah.
He's always been on the first front of whether it's tech coming up, the owning the sporting agency, streaming and everything. He's always in the front lines when shit is about to pop off. That's why I'm surprised he's not
like places hip hop hasn't been before.
Right. I'm surprised he's not like in crypto and shit yet because I have a feeling that's what's next.
You don't know, man. Jay-Z coin?
Never know.
Hove coin?
He low-key could already be doing that. Could be
that's
dabbling.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The only person I know that was really pumping it up like that, especially in hip hop, was Nipsey. Nipsey was the one that was really telling people like, listen, this is the future. We can see what's going on, and that's something that could really launch you up. Because that Bitcoin shit, that in my
I was
opinion,
say when motherfuckers started cashing in their Bitcoins and getting thousands back for $100 investment, I was like, damn, why didn't I do that? Why didn't anybody put me on that shit?
This shit is real, but that's why like you keep certain people in your circle, or you just keep on, like you said, just look for knowledge. Like whatever's new coming up, just pay attention because that's the only way we're going to level up.
Be willing to evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
always.
if you don't know about it, man, like it's so easy to educate yourself day by day. You know what I mean? I feel like some people feel like it's so insurmountable when they see people like, oh, they've been doing this their whole lives and I just started. Yo, as long as you like build that wall one brick at a time, dog, you're going to be good, man. That's why this whole like marathon shit is real, man. Shit is real.
You gotta
Shit is a
stay true to
marathon.
your character too. That's how you become really fucking
absolutely.
successful.
Absolutely. Because I can imagine there's plenty of times where Hove could have easily, bowed out, out of a certain situation, but just maintaining your integrity and staying in. Here he is.
Stay focused.
A billy. And
A
that shit was
billy
so
and no one
motivating.
questions his character.
Wow,
Not
giving
at
back
all.
still.
He's been the
Being
same.
a man of the people.
He's been the same person since he started wearing chunky chains. He just switched it up to business suits.
And that, the journey, because Reasonable Doubt was, he dropped it when he was 26, and he's almost 50 now.
Damn,
it's
I
a
didn't
journey.
realize how old he was.
Yeah,
It's over.
our guys getting old. But that goes to show you, know what I mean? Just stick to your guns, man. Stick to your guns. And that shit was so motivating. I woke up on a Monday like, oh, it's bright outside. It's hot.
I could be somebody.
But it's cool. Yeah, like we could do this shit, man. Because there's a lot of like day-to-day bullshit that happens. You know how that shit goes.
Of course.
But when you see stuff like that, it's like, let's fucking
There's
go.
something
It's
every day
us.
that can discourage you from your goals and what you want to do. But like you were saying before, in a private meeting, we were talking. You said as long as we stay true to ourselves and what we have going on, as far as like us as a team, we can keep pushing forward and we'll make it to where we want to be at, still being the same people that we are.
Absolutely.
Gotta stay focused, stay motivated, and stay true.
Hello. Stay
Wow,
pure.
did we just have a moment?
1000%. Black people.
We just had a moment.
That was edited in through the video.
Face. But yeah, shout out to Hove, man. Incredible news. Very motivating. Who knows? He may reach a trillion.
Right.
Wait, where's B at? Isn't B up there soon? She gonna be up there?
No, but Rihanna definitely is.
I mean,
Rihanna's up
his
there.
money's her money, so
True.
Put the shit together.
technically they're billionaires together.
Nala gonna get up
Blue's a
there soon.
billionaire.
So Blue's a billionaire
What's
too.
the
You
twins'
feel me?
name?
The twins, I have no idea. I don't even see them.
Yeah, Sir and Rumi, all billionaires.
I haven't even seen them kids.
They ain't even
They
seen
were
the ceiling.
In my whole life.
I was like, yeah, Blue, talk your shit. But yeah, Ree's getting up there. What was it like 600 mil?
Yeah,
she's at right
600
now.
mil.
And y'all asking
And
why she
she's
ain't
what
drop an
the
album yet.
Rihanna's what the most
Wealthiest female artist.
wealthiest female artist. That's her title right now.
All genres.
That's all genres. That's
Wealthiest
pop,
female.
hip hop, R&B, soul, fucking
I
rock.
can't even think.
I don't know
who would
any
be
rock.
close besides Beyonce.
I can't
know,
believe Beyonce hasn't surpassed her though.
I think, it's that.
It's that.
It's
that
a
deal.
sex
She just got
appeal.
that deal she just
No,
got.
it's the things that she done with Fenty itself.
She does Savage too. Savage is her
Right.
lingerie brand. She's doing Fenty, but Fenty is clothing and jewelry and accessories
Puma
and
deal.
makeup. Puma deal. She's expanded herself, but what? Beyonce has Puma as well. I think,
Adidas.
right? Adidas.
Adidas.
Beyonce has Adidas. music. That's it.
I don't
What's the
think
line
they-
that she has? That
She
just
has
rebooted?
that's
Yeah, with
Adidas.
Adidas?
That's with Adidas. Yeah, that's Blue Ivy Park.
Ivy Park.
Right.
Ivy
Yeah,
Park.
Yeah, but with the Beyonce, she supposedly has a big chunk of Uber that just went public. So
Word.
she decided
I'm sure
to
she
sell
has
that.
a lot of stocks in places as
I
well.
don't think they just calculated all of her
Yeah.
funds yet to say that she's
She's there.
But Rihanna's right now like here. We actually got the funds on paper.
Yeah, Rihanna has a lot of personal companies.
She
So I
got
think
the
that's a
deal
lot of
the fucking
revenue.
century.
She did good at building her brand from
Yeah.
the bottom and just
Very
expanding.
fucking
Once again,
fast.
diversifying.
Diversifying herself, yeah,
Because if you pigeonhole,
and dabbling.
yeah, you pigeonhole yourself into one area, you're gonna get some money. But what happens if that dries up?
True.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what? I'm gonna go to the makeup.
I'm
The
glad
makeup
she
ain't
didn't
working. I'm gonna go
focus
to the
in
music.
acting. 'Cause
Honestly, though, now in the recent years, mostly beauty, fashion has been top of the charts in funding. So I feel like that's a very smart industry to get into.
yeah, man, I'm about to start some makeup tutorials.
You
Oh,
should,
easily,
Get that
yeah,
bag.
should.
yeah. Because you see Kylie out of nowhere.
Kylie got
Shot up
skincare
pretty
now,
quick.
yeah,
Know what I mean, that wasn't no.
and they're
no mistake
selling
either.
out.
Let her start that Botox. She gonna make it trillion.
All the YouTubers, all the beauty YouTuber influencers, they're making bang
Getting that
because
bread.
beauty has
That's what advertisers are
YouTube
doing.
and beauty paired together has been the new trend.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's
Deadass
trying to get
Girl
into it.
Cosmetics. What's good?
Ooh,
I could be the lead to that. So,
beat they faces, man.
That's it.
Beat they
You
just
know?
wild out. You just holla at Nisa.
I got the formula. Y'all just gotta.
We gonna come up with like a
I'm
catchy,
initiated.
name for it and all
We're
that.
doing everything. Trademark.
Yes, I don't know
that's
where
the-
we
Beauty
gonna
by
make it, but we
knee.
gonna figure it out.
Nah, it's like,
It's gonna be us like
Yeah,
making like
such-
makeup at home and shit. Like, what the fuck is this? I'm trying.
mixing shit.
I'm
Just
fucking
making
trying.
us have the
Start
ugly
smoking,
colors
like,
and
what the
shit.
fuck?
I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
We chemists now.
But see, but I'm gonna go back to them saying like, man, people looked at me crazy when I was like, yo, like I don't even need no music from her. Get your money, girl. Because just imagine how the
I
music
want
gonna
to
sound
hear
when she
some
reach a
music
billion.
though. Don't say
I
that.
still look at you crazy saying that.
Yeah.
That's a whole different flex when she a billionaire.
I know. But
But I
tell me
want to
the
see
whole
another
different album, my
concert
nigga.
tour from Rihanna, and I want to see
How was
another
I supposed to get my lap
album.
dance? Pull me on stage. Janet Jackson me.
She just dropped new.
Tiana
She
Taylor
dropped
made.
her June merch for the Savage, the lingerie
Oh yeah,
brand that
the
she
June
has.
collection.
The June collection, and that shit is fire.
And that's why
It's very
Everything.
neutral and chill, but it's fire.
she be putting herself in them ass. She's like, "Hey, man, I'm wearing my own shit. What you talking about, man?
Nick.
Body,
She
man.
brands herself
Easy,
a
yes.
lot. That's
Once
where a
again,
lot of
humble.
her.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tiana.
No, she is. She
No,
is.
1000%. There's no question, bro. There's no, but that's exactly why she's like, yo, I'm gonna get this money.
Rihanna.
Know what I mean? By Rihanna.
She ties a lot of people into her beauty and her fashion as well. She puts a lot of unique looks onto it. Like she had Winnie.
Yeah.
Winnie is what is that called? She has a skin disease, but it's where you have patches of white skin.
Why am I thinking alopecia? I know what you're talking about.
No.
Nah, Alicia's here.
Vitiligo?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has vitiligo. She put her on. She had another
Who
model
was the
with
pregnant
a
chick
big,
that had
the big gap tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, she put her on, and that gap is immaculate. That shit is.
wasn't
She don't even
sponsored by the
gotta
Gap?
like. That gap is as big as this pen,
perfect.
sideways. You could throw a pen through her gap,
Sideways.
like easy.
We need woman empowerment.
But she, no, I'm not. She's a model. She making more money than I
Hear that
am.
stumble?
More power to her. I know. I did sound like a hater, but she was on America's Next Top Model.
Oh, was she?
Yeah,
I know that.
she was. And I'm just saying, she's bringing.
Wait, Tyra turned her down.
No, she didn't make it to the end. Yeah, Tyra, she didn't make it to the
Tyra
end.
ain't see the vision.
No, Tyra's seen the vision because she made it a pretty decent way. But there's a lot of things that go into the fashion industry besides having a gap tooth or not. People find beauty in everything. The more strange and different you look, I see now, especially watching different runway fashion shows, the more you are looked at as a
Individual.
no, I was gonna say like idealistic look. They want you to look different. They want you to look like something people have never seen before.
Things
you,
change.
yeah, and that is the idea of fashion, to be different, to be unique
Yeah, man. Look
in a way, and that's where Fenty is tying into, or it's Fenty is the fashion brand. It's tying into everything. It's its own look. It's very unique. She likes to be outside the box. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of her runway shows, But the last one that she had, it was like a jungle vibe.
That's
It's very different. And like they were running around like monkeys and shit. Like it was different. It was different.
But that's what she's always like for like individualism,
Mm-hmm.
like just being yourself. That's why like models
her
like
whole
Ashley
personality.
Graham and stuff like the bigger models are coming out and killing.
Yeah,
the fucking
Ashley's
game.
in a lot of stuff. now.
Killing the fucking game, and it wasn't the same shit back in the '90s, even like the 2000s.
The beauty is looked at differently. Like I was saying,
Yeah.
they're looking for, they're looking for that everyday person look, but you don't look like them.
Well, I think people, it's becoming more mainstream to see the beauty in everything.
Everyone, yeah.
And I think
Size, color.
we were in a mentality for quite some time as a culture, and we're kind of still in it. Know what I mean? That's why everybody getting all sculpted up and all that. But people will want to look a certain way. You know what I mean? But when you find the beauty in anything, that's where the true beauty lies, bro. Like we don't got to look the same, bro. What the fuck? Like we all got our differences, and it's all beautiful, baby.
It's good to look different.
What
It's
did
good
Ferg
to be
say?
different and look different.
Y'all seen that message that Ferg said the other day? He like, yo,
Fergie?
No, Ferg,
A$AP
ASAP.
Oh, my bad. That was
Yeah,
thinking-
he was like,
I was
listen,
thinking Black
man.
Eyed Peas.
I think
said-
he's definitely into fashion as well.
He was like, ladies,
he's
he's
Yeah.
always been in fashion. He's like, ladies, do what you got to do, man. Like, we accept you for who you are. If you got a little booty, rock the little booty. You know what I mean? You're a little bigger, you're a little thicker. It's all good. Just be
Everyone
comfortable
wants some
with yourself. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Confidence
that's
is
the sexiest shit
sexy.
ever.
Yeah, confidence is sexy. People will look at you. Could be I won't say 95. That's a little slim, but okay. Say you're 125 pounds, 5'4", whatever. That's an average female. That's a little like that's a nice body shape at that size. And then there's someone that's pushing 180 at 5'8", whatever.
Right.
A little thicker, more on the more Amazonian, thicker type of female. But she walk in the room with her head high, outfit on fleek, whatever. She's taking pictures. She's socializing with everyone. But then you being a pretty smaller woman come in with your head down, looking at your phone, texting. A man is going to approach that confident woman before they're going to approach this more shy, timid woman easily because her confidence is more sexy than you.
Right. Absolutely. That's why you see. Did you see Homegirl?
Be proud
I
of
don't
who
know
you
her name,
are.
But she got like the unibrow. Y'all seen her?
No,
It's like
I
this,
don't know.
It's like this white chick. She has like a full unibrow, dog, but she killing. Making
She look like
bread.
Frida.
Huh?
She looks like Frida.
I was gonna make a Frida joke.
Not
but
like
She
that.
was
Her shit is shaped
it was
up.
beneath me.
She
shaped
got
up a little
She got a
bit.
half moon in her shit. No, she
It's
don't.
faded.
That's fair.
But
Faded down the middle.
no funny shit. Like her shit is on point, and she like everywhere, dog. She getting her
I
chicken.
ain't
She
checked
modeling. She everything.
It's a confidence level.
Absolutely.
Because when you're confident, you photograph better.
True. That's why I always photograph great.
But that's why, like, just to go back to the initial like point, Rihanna for the people, man. What did she do with SZA? Like, SZA,
Okay,
they
speaking
violated her, right?
speaking of
For the people.
loving for the people and loving everyone's image, no matter what shape, size, color that you are, Rihanna is a big backer of that, and apparently Sephora is not. And Rihanna wanted to let SZA know that she can shop in peace with Fenty Beauty.
So, to let us know what happened with SZA.
So basically with SZA, she walked into a California location of Sephora, and one of the employees, better known as Sandy Sephora, I'm assuming that's a made-up screen name that SZA made for her, she called security to follow SZA around, not knowing that SZA is a a chart-topping
They might
artist.
have been playing her
SZA
music
is
when she walked in
SZA.
that bitch.
Having security follow her to make sure that she doesn't steal.
Yo.
This woman has no reason to steal at all, nor can she afford to steal because of her image.
That's a fact.
And this woman racially profiled her and had security follow her around the store just so that she wouldn't steal. So now Sandy Sephora will be, more than likely, she's already fired, but now she'll be making every Sephora location across the nation close down Wednesday all day long so that every employee, racist or not, racially profiling or not, they have to go through a course for sensitivity training for customers now.
Good.
There it is.
Which I think that was the correct approach for Sephora
'Cause my girl
to handle
shops
it.
at Sephora.
Every colored woman shops at Sephora. Every color. Whether you be fucking pasty as shit or very dark. Like, it doesn't matter. Every shade, every type, every style, every woman shops at Sephora, Ulta. Any beauty influencer, any person, those are the top two. Yeah. Any person that's into beauty is gonna more than likely, when you're looking for higher end, you're shopping at Sephora, or you're looking for an everyday look, you're gonna shop at Ulta. It doesn't matter. If you're into beauty, if you're into makeup, even if you're just now getting into it, you're going to step foot into those stores. You never want to feel unwelcome, especially for the color of your skin.
Being followed is a motherfucking feeling. Have you ever been followed in the store before?
Oh, absolutely.
I honestly have never been followed in the store.
You want to help me? Like, come on.
Yeah, I remember.
Just hold hands.
Thankfully.
Motherfucker, like, get the fuck up.
it was me and Christian. We was in a Publix. This was like over a decade ago. Looking at the magazines, we see this lady. You know, like she keeps up with a cart, comes next to us, starts looking at a magazine too. So I peep. I give Christian the head nod. Like,
he said, "What's she doing in the guns section? Why she reading that shit?"
Peep game.
You don't know that.
We go to the next aisle. 2 minutes later, guess who shows up? The same woman comes right next to us.
Let's go, Sandy.
So we start fucking with her. We start going all across the Publix, just going from aisle to aisle. Shit don't even make sense. Right there following us, we're just laughing at her and shit because it's so fucking obvious.
Yeah.
But shit like that, and we wasn't like, we're just bored as shit. We wasn't there to steal nothing. Well, you probably did, but not that time.
But you was macking.
Yeah, well, I said we was just chilling and shit, but they just have someone following you and shit like that. Like most of the time I can tell. Like it's happened at Walmart before. You know, they had at Walmart that had like the undercover niggas. Mm-hmm. It's always this dude at the.
They peeping around the aisle.
Yeah, it's always this dude at the Orange City Walmart that wears like this Call of Duty shirt. Deadass. He's so fucking identified.
So if you're trying to steal at Walmart, what location?
It's the Walmart one. I mean, the Orange City one on Veteran Parkway.
So keep an eye out for old dude in the
beard, Call of Duty shirt.
Call of Duty shirt.
But he can get elbowed in this
if you're trying to steal, you gotta avoid my boy Bill.
Yeah,
that's what we call him, Bill.
My man
what about
Bill,
Walmart Walter,
Beta Ray Bill, face head
hey,
hey.
That's the name.
Damn, that's crazy though, because I learned about that yesterday that she was being profiled. Yeah, and that's a hell of a thing to go through, especially when you
at that
point in your career, like in your life, career, all that.
A millionaire.
But that goes to show you,
your music is played.
It don't matter how much you've done.
That's a fact.
It don't matter what you do, how much you do for the community.
People don't see that.
People are still gonna look at you the way that they're gonna look at you. So I wonder if that's because I don't know SZA's like background. I don't know how she grew up. So I wonder, how many times she's encountered something like that. As I said, like for me, something like that to happen and you did the same thing, you just laugh it off. It's just like, yo. Like,
yeah, but some people can't be traumatized.
Right, 1,000%. The first time, always. But the thing is, like, the unfortunate thing about what happened to her is that not only does it happen all the fucking time, but it happens to, when you're little, you're a fucking kid. Right. You know what I mean? And then you have people who are of other backgrounds coming up to you and profiling you for zero reason, where you're just you're just chilling or
trying to be a customer.
You're trying to buy some shit. You know what I mean? So Sephora to, close their shit down, that's not a surprise. I think when I was working at Starbucks a couple years back, they had a similar thing where it was a big profiling situation. So literally every location had to like shut down and have a meeting for like an hour and change. I'll Stone Cold stun them. I don't play. We wasn't playing that. And 53rd and Lex, shout out to y'all, man. It's family. But yeah, like big corporate, man, they don't play that. They don't play that. So
no, because you get a fat ass lawsuit for that.
Yeah, exactly.
It could not even be that overall. Exactly, especially somebody at that level, for them to get mixed up in something like that. That's just asking for a huge lawsuit. So the way to handle that is to shut shit down.
Right.
It's the only way that you can do it.
I mean, look at what happened to Meek like a week or two ago at that resort or whatever it was, hotel, whatever it was. Party. Yeah, they basically profiled him as well. They didn't let him go in for whatever reason. And he's like, listen, like, we're supposed to do business, whatever the case is. Yeah. And the dudes is like, nah. Whole thing, like, yeah, word spread. And then whatever resort it was, they're like, yeah, like, we want to apologize to Meek Mill. We look forward to doing It's just like, yo, it's too late for that, man.
It is, because your feelings already hurt. You're already embarrassed.
Right.
It's kind of at this point, you're just like, nah, I got to deal with it. Yeah, nothing.
Fuck your words. Man.
But once again, I guarantee you this has happened countless times before that in that same area. And it just so happened they did it to a famous person. So now it's getting out.
Yeah,
So
that's
who's to
what I'm
say
saying. It's
Sephora's
your
the same
level
shit?
of, especially like how much media attention a celebrity will get towards a lawsuit. It just, you can go, a company can go bankrupt from shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because people will actively stop purchasing from that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop visiting, stop purchasing. They will lose a big dividend of their profits.
Yeah,
I think-
I like Ulta more anyway.
I actually
Fenty
do,
more.
honestly.
Didn't she open her own store now?
Fenty is sold in, I believe Sephora. Yeah,
But she
Fenty
has
is
her own
sold.
store.
Fenty out my trunk.
Look, Fenty is sold at Sephora. If Rihanna wanted to, make a big deal out of it,
Pull
she
the
can
chips.
pull it out.
I hope she does.
That's a fat
Do it, baby.
amount of profit
I
too.
want my baby to do it.
Brands can pull out of that company. You know what I mean? They can go to Ulta or anywhere else and pitch a deal and go from there.
Okay. We're grown
So
for that
privately,
nigga to pull out
like-
joke. Doing good.
You just ruined
waiting
it.
for
We're
it.
gonna just
I was
keep
waiting
moving
for
on.
it. My bad. I
But you know what I
expected
mean?
it.
They back
No,
out of
no,
their
just-
deals just for that.
Mm-hmm.
And Fenty is exclusively sold at Sephora because it's not sold at Ulta.
Really?
Yeah, it's not sold at
Switch
Ulta.
it the fuck up.
So
Time to switch.
Sephora, stop fucking up. All right. What's her name? Sandy?
Sandy Sephora.
Sandy Sephora.
Don't get the
I
whole
mean-
company fucked up.
Good riddance.
True. Right.
It's the shit that happens when you are closed-minded, my brothers and sisters. Know what I
Been
mean,
going on for a long time.
A lot of things happen when you're closed-minded. People suffer when you're closed-minded.
but listen, like, but we're in a new age, so it's not like you can get away with that shit no more, dog. Like, we have cameras, we have social media, we all have the opportunity to build our own platform. So if you fuck us over, just know, a lot of times there's an army behind us, and we gonna find out.
Overnight.
We gonna find out. You can only hide ugly for too long, dog. And that's like the perfect example. If y'all want to transition to it, is that
When they
Central
see
Park
us
5
document,
joint?
yeah. So the Central Park 5, these two actually haven't seen the short series.
Yeah, when they see
I'm
us.
very
Ironically, we have not
disappointed
seen it yet.
for
I
when
have
they
a
see
legitimate
us.
reason.
I have been the only one that has seen it.
there's no reason for me.
So it's actually very heart-wrenching and emotional to watch. Definitely getting to see like a narration of what those children went through to their adulthood and surviving doing time that they didn't have to do. But they were racially profiled. Small-minded detectives were working on the case, and they couldn't see the bigger picture, which in essence caused these kids to
Lose their freedom.
lose their freedom, lose their life, honestly, lose all of their learning experience growing up as a teenager, going into adulthood, and, losing their innocence. Like, most of them lost their innocence.
Yeah. First of all, I want
So
to shout
you don't
out
get that time back.
Ava DuVernay, who did this one. What is it called again?
When they see us.
When They See Us.
She also did Selma. She also did A Wrinkle in Time. I think she did the 13th joint as well. But
With this one, she did everything.
she does such a good job at not only just social commentary, but just portraying exactly what happened in like
Getting the
today's
message.
form.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you to understand it and really understand like how serious the situation was. Because of course we know,
We just know, like I said, I just know the cliff notes of
Right.
pretty much what happened.
right? And a lot of people don't even remember that. Know what I mean, when it first started happening, because it's been a while since it's been, publicized and things of that nature. But she always does a good job at just doing like this social commentary activism and just knocking that shit out the park.
Well, it resurfaced now our generation it resurfaced in 2007 when they were exonerated
Yeah.
from
Around
all
that.
charges.
Yeah.
It was like 2007, 2008, which was 10, 11 years ago. Not that long ago.
That's crazy.
I know. It wasn't that long ago, but that's really what shed light to the entire case. And actually, while I was in high school, I was in law studies, and I covered the case. So that's really how I got the knowledge of, background of everything that was going on.
Right.
I didn't think that they would make a film so later on, but I'm actually glad they did.
So did you know about it like way beforehand, or was it one of those things?
It was one of those things that I studied and learned later on after the news was released.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the resurface.
Yeah,
What
after it
about the,
resurfaced and when they were exonerated, I heard about it, but I didn't really look too much into detail. It resurfaced more so when I was in school.
What about this piece? Like, did you know that was coming out? Or
No, I didn't. I didn't know it was coming out.
I knew it was coming out because of Hov's involvement.
I seen like little bits and pieces of something big coming out about racism, but I didn't know exactly what it was until Netflix said it was gonna come out soon. Then when it dropped, I was like, oh, okay, let me check this out. Then I seen that it was about the Central Park 5, and I actually really liked that case.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think Hove did voiceover on episode 3, and they have some of his music in there as well.
Got you.
They have Frank Ocean ending in Moon River.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm slipping, man. It was just one of those things I haven't been able to see it, but I just remember, growing up and just knowing about the case and just the juxtaposition of putting myself in that position. Just, you know how many times, because we live right next to Central Park, a couple blocks down, like how easy it was for us to just, go over there, just chilling at night.
Late night, too.
Whatever it was, know what I mean? Just doing what we had to do, and just myself and my friends getting snagged up and going to jail for 6 to 14 years, I think it was, between
all five of them.
Right.
That's a nightmare, man. Like I'm getting chills just think about that, because it could literally happen to anybody. And I was having this conversation with you off air where the main lady, I don't know if she's a prosecutor, what's her name, Linda something, Fairstein, some whatever.
Yeah,
she was the main detective.
I just remember this thinking in my mind. She was like, "Yo, whatever black kid was in Central Park is a witness. Like it don't matter. Like they're a witness." And just hearing that shit, that's a tyrant right there, bro.
Like that's
no evidence.
Fucking horrifying.
No evidence, no nothing. Just easy. Just snag them up real quick. Make them go into a false confession. These kids are little. Let's treat them that way.
And then a lot of police brutality was going on then, and definitely it's all white police officers going against little black teenagers that are scared and confused.
And keep in mind, of course, being so young, especially from where we're from and from where they're from, they don't know anything about the law. You know what I mean? Especially that young.
How grimy they can be.
So, of course, you know what I mean, you're going to listen to whatever they, listen, if you just say that you did it, we'll get you off. Like they're like, yo, fuck it. All right, let's just do it.
Because they try to approach it as if you tell us the truth, you can go home. But then it's like, okay, I told you the truth. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
Tell me again. Tell me the truth I want to hear. That's what they kept feeding to them. Tell me the truth I want to hear. And as a kid, the oldest one was 16. They're 14 to 16 years old, period. At that age, you're easily influenced, especially by an authoritative figure. If they're screaming at you, hitting you, telling you this, and that, and then you could be home safe with your parents.
Listen, especially when you're
what else are you gonna say?
You know how it is?
Yeah.
Like, where we come from,
fucking
though?
movie, man.
Yeah, bro.
People were describing that shit on Facebook like that's a horror movie for black people.
It is.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, in Spanish. Don't forget, it's Puerto Rican as well.
Too. Like that shit is like a real life fucking horror movie.
Because we deal with the police on an everyday basis. Know what I mean?
It's always in the back of our heads, no matter what we do, no matter where we are.
Exactly.
That's
so when
that's always on your fucking mind.
When you get snagged up and they put you in that position, you don't even know what the hell's going on. I can't imagine what those kids were thinking about,
especially at that age
when it was first
they don't
going
get the
on.
information. At least now that at our age, like we have the internet, we know things, we can read things online. Them, like the fuck?
This was what, 80s, like late 80s?
89.
Yeah. Insane.
They didn't have no information on anything on how to handle anything.
Except to be scared and to just listen and follow what they say, or else you get killed.
Get fucked over.
Yeah,
And get fucked
literally.
Up for what?
The crooked system, crooked cops, that's exactly what happens. And that's why you see now, all these years later, we're seeing a whole bunch of people being exonerated for shit that they didn't do back then, when either people were falsifying evidence or, you know what I mean,
The
same situation.
charges
like
shouldn't
this.
be serious.
The charge,
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Tampered with.
Yeah,
Like that,
exactly.
like,
So you're seeing a whole bunch of people now, getting exonerated. And people can say what they want about Kim K, but she really doing something. I mean, she getting a couple people off.
What I don't understand is, remember the case about the young college boy who had raped the girl and got like 5 months in prison?
The one that had the scholarship?
Yeah, he had a scholarship. He only got like 5 months in prison. And he had like raped and beat the girl too.
They're talking about the white dude that raped the girl behind the dumpster.
Yeah. She was drunk or something, and he raped her and left her,
didn't
right?
get nothing.
And didn't get no. He got 5 months.
He didn't get nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, he got off from that. Okay.
No, saying like 5 months.
Oh yeah, 5 months. Okay, I was like, what?
So what he should have got.
Yeah,
Nothing.
5 months. Yet these kids got years. That makes no sense.
Right. The shit that kills me
That's all it is. It's racism. That's what I'm saying.
They were
That's my
so-
point. It's race.
They were so focused on getting these 5 black kids locked up.
They're trying to pin somebody black.
I
That's
can
what they were
imagine they were
focused on.
probably
They
just
went to
salivating. They were like, yo, we got
great-
5 of them. Know what I
Bro.
mean?
The links that, like, even with Donald Trump, he took out the front page news article on the New York Times.
Oh yeah, he was part of that as
Yeah,
well.
to get these fucking kids to keep them in jail and shit. Like
Years later, he's our
and
president.
too. Yeah, that's why I don't understand why niggas fucked with him ever.
He's a
'Cause of
bad
shit
hombre.
like that.
He's always been racist, though.
Yeah,
He's
that's
always
why I
been
understand,
found
like,
throughout the
how do
years
niggas
saying
forget
racist
that he
things.
did that shit?
They didn't. It's America.
They put a blind eye to certain situations,
Yeah.
man. That's what I learned. People believe what they want to believe, man. They'll put the blinders up to-
fuckery.
Not even that. It's our electoral college. It's majority vote.
Excuse me. Oh, pardon me.
Our electoral college has a beliefs that they want to have, and that's what decision they decided to keep for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
But this is why I think this is going to be a pivotal like piece, especially for kids coming up now, to
Yeah, 'cause
really
knowledge
see
is out there.
what we've been going through for so many generations and so early, because that's not too far ago. Know what I mean?
No, not at all.
So just and especially kids coming up now, teenagers, they're living. I'm not going to say in a privileged time, but it's much better now than it was before.
yes.
So just having the wherewithal and understanding, like, yo, this is how the system is, dog.
Yeah.
Like it's still like that. We've made just a little sliver of progress, but this shit still happens every day, dog.
occurring. But I'm just
Like-
glad. Yeah, I'm glad that there's information out there that's easily digestible. Where you can actually learn something.
Right.
So shout out to Ava for definitely enlightening people to this. 'Cause I'm sure it's getting traction.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
It's very popular right now.
And it's just from what I hear, because once again I haven't seen it, but from what I'm hearing, like the actors do an incredible job. It was directed well. It's a great piece. I mean, it's what, 3 episodes,
I think it's
4
4 episodes, like an hour long.
hour each.
Okay, yeah. So I definitely got some homework to do. I'm looking forward to
Try not
that.
to cry. I'm all set this week.
No, I cried. I cried during Corey, which was the oldest kid that got sentenced. I cried when it showed what he had to go through because he was the only one who was sentenced as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So he went through the whole extent of prison at 16. And think of like gangsters thinking that you looking like food because you're a scared
boy, not even
16-year-old little boy and you had the title of a rapist.
Right. You got that scarlet
You
letter.
beat you scarlet letter of a rapist. You beat and you raped a woman in the park. That's what your title was. So they look at you like dog food.
Innocent, man.
But he was innocent. So it's like, how do you there's no argument to that because they don't believe you. Because in the court system you were sentenced guilty. So they look at you as just that, and they're gonna take advantage in every type of way that they can. And it showed how corrupt the guards were in the situation for him. It showed how psychologically he was messed up throughout it and just all the things he had to go through for no reason because he was innocent. He wasn't even there.
Wrong place,
Right.
wrong
He didn't even, he wasn't even there. Wrong place, wrong time of bringing his friend to the station. He wasn't even there at the scene of the crime at all. So it's kind of like when the story plays back and you see the animation of it, it makes you cry because it's like, you should have never been through that, but he always kept his hope and he kept his faith through all of those years, and he kept true to himself because every time he had a parole hearing, he would say, I don't believe I did it. And until you admit your guilt, you can't move on in the parole system. So he had to say, I'm guilty of all my charges, sign paperwork saying it, and say that he accepted it and move on. But because his faith was so strong in himself and thinking that they would find evidence that he was innocent, he was like, nope, I'll stick it out. And he had to survive through a lot of grimy shit in there.
Marathon.
A lot of grimy shit.
I mean, he's one of the lucky ones.
He could have easily folded, but he didn't. That's a soldier.
He's definitely one of the lucky ones.
He's one of the
How many
unlucky-
cases- No, I'm just saying people that are currently incarcerated that are innocent that are waiting, to get that hope that
Someone
maybe
to
they
come
don't make
forward
it.
and make it,
something gets overturned and wait, I can get the fuck out of here because I really didn't do this shit.
And I also think that her project highlights on after you're incarcerated how hard it is to get your life back.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes obviously we all know that life takes us places we don't always want to be. Sometimes life puts us in situations we don't need to be in, and we make decisions without thinking, or we make decisions that we don't like we don't know the consequences. So then when we face the consequences, they're more rash than we thought that they would be. So you do deserve a second chance. I do believe that people do deserve a second chance. And those kids, their life was taken away from them from decisions they didn't even make.
Right.
And they went back in real life and they only got a second chance because the guy came forward. They would have all had a struggle trying to get jobs. They would have been working at McDonald's, Starbucks, you know, shitty ass jobs, trying to support their families after they were innocent because they couldn't get a second chance.
If they still have families, because people can fucking
Exactly.
cast you out
That's a fact.
over some shit like that. Like, it can literally ruin everything.
In one of the situations, the Puerto Rican boy, Raymond, he had went back home to his dad. His dad had a new wife. The wife looked at him as a rapist. So she was just disrespectful. And technically the house was her, or the apartment was hers. She had a lot of family, as most Spanish people do. Shout out to my Boricuas. But like, there was a lot of kids there. He didn't feel comfortable. He didn't know anybody. He was trying to, you know, get his life back, but it's hard. Yeah. It's very hard. And he wasn't really welcomed by her. So it was a lot of fight at home. And he was getting turned down by jobs left and right. He turned to the streets, ended up getting incarcerated again.
Yeah. That's what the
in between
prison
all that
system
time
is set up to do, man. It's
bring you back in, basically.
It's set to break your mind down, bro. It's set to like bring you all the way down to the ground, like you ain't shit. That's
there.
why like there be people that be visiting prisons and shit just to, just to, like Alcatraz and shit. Like, nah, bro, I don't want no parts, bro. No parts. I'm not coming nowhere close because them shits are literally designed to fuck us over. Know what I mean?
You know who said Casanova has said one time that he wishes death on his enemy before he wishes prison.
Yeah, because that shit is a whole different animal, bro. I wouldn't wish that. No, bro.
They treat you like animals there.
Because, you know, you hear so many horror stories, and thankfully, you know what I mean, some of us were able to, you know, dodge that bullet, at least to this point. But, you know, just knowing people who have been in the system, having family members, friends that are in it, and just understanding what goes behind all that, bro. Like, you know,
you know their
bro.
character. You know that sometimes people are put in situations in their life, like I said, and you make the wrong choice, or you get caught up in a lifestyle that just do. It just happens. It's life. People make mistakes. People do things, but that doesn't mean that's the person that they are. Like, a lot of people have good hearts. They have good character. They are a good person to their family, their friends, their loved ones, in any type of way. They don't deserve that extent, that level. It's just sometimes you gotta face the music and deal with it and keep your head up to it. But
the difference
it could take you down.
The difference with that is that the people, you know, who do go down that road, they have to understand, and a lot of them do understand that, you know, you're taking your chances, so you know what can happen.
Yeah.
These boys were innocent.
Yeah.
So once again, I can't imagine them getting nabbed and holding them for so long when it's like, yo, I didn't do this, dog. And then once again, homegirl and the whole
and you're just like, fuck it,
the world is against you.
Just because they wanted these 5 kids, they nab them up. The real dude who did it was still out there. I think he committed a murder. He did like several other rapes.
He committed murder by popping someone's eyes out. That's why he got life.
And all this could have been avoided if he was caught, if he was apprehended, because he was a dude who actually did it. He was serving life, right? And they took his DNA, and that's how they found out. Like,
he was serving life, and then he had met up with the guy Corey, and they actually got in. Well, I don't know how honest this story is. It might have just been something to like illuminate the story, but they had got into a squabble. They didn't see each other again for a couple of years. And the guy seen him and was like, yo, do you remember me? I just want to apologize for the fight we had. I want to say I commend you for being so hopeful and have faith throughout all this, for all these years. And you've always remained that person. They had that conversation. And after the conversation, the guy said he wanted to speak to the head detective on it and say that he wanted to admit to committing the crime.
Right.
And he was like, take my DNA, urine sample, all that, semen, everything.
Okay.
You'll find all the evidence you need. I'll tell you the entire story. He told the story and everything aligned. The whole time frame, the location, how the woman was beat, when she was raped, everything fit in the storyline. When the 5 boys, when they try to make up the story, none of it fit.
Right.
None of it fit.
And if the detectives were doing their jobs, they would have seen that.
They did see it though. They did their jobs. They seen it and they said.
That's their fucking job.
But in the movie, it showed that they were like, this doesn't add up. As the prosecutor for the case was like, this doesn't add up. These boys' stories don't really add up. And the detective said, make it work, make it fit.
And that's the thing that
and they made it fit. They made it tie.
Still occurs.
That's what I'm saying, because there's always like certain sample sizes where that happens and all that, but that always has been a thing in, you know, ghettos and all that, like where we come from. Because, you know, my father was in the NYPD for 20 years. Good dude, good cop, did his time and he bounced. Yeah. So that always puts a bad stigma that we've always battled with in these communities, bro. And it's like, yo, not all cops are bad, but when you hear shit like that,
you can't help
and of
but
course,
think it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and once again, like we deal with it every day, bro. You're harassing
you just
us.
Assume the chances of you being bad are greater than the chances of you being good.
Absolutely.
And I'm not gonna fucking risk it.
Absolutely. Every day we get harassed. You're supposed to be here to protect us. Every day you harassing us. Stop and frisk. I think I said on this podcast before. I've been a victim of that before.
Yep.
Was walking home.
I got stopped walking outside my house.
Yeah.
One time, 2:00 in the morning.
So when you have these different experiences from these, you know, police officers, it's very easy to have that, you know, mentality. That's why you see, you know, people bucking back. And, you know, the climate that we're in now, bro, like the past couple years with all like the Black Lives Matter and all that started happening with all these black people.
All these things happening that shouldn't be occurring.
Yes, absolutely.
There's just so much evidence out there just saying, hey,
right,
these people are the fucking enemy.
And this case exemplifies everything that encompasses that issue within our community. Yep. You know what I mean? And that's why I would like to have a conversation with like a white person who grew up like in suburbia or whatever, just to see, you know, their reaction to how they feel about, you know, something like this. Because it's like,
I mean, all you can try to do is just try to enlighten people. Like, hey, because a lot of people still don't understand when niggas say Black Lives Matter. Oh, all lives matter.
Right.
Like, this is why the fuck niggas say that shit. Like, look at this documentary and see firsthand why this shit is how it is.
That's why, like, color blindness, I know, like, personally, like, white people would try to be, oh, I don't see color. Well, you should. You have to see, you know, what we go through.
That's privilege right there to say some shit like that.
It's not as easy just to be like, oh, yeah, I don't see color. Everybody's, nah, bro. We live a whole different life, bro.
You know what I'd like to say about the I don't see color? I don't think that that's true in any level, any spectrum. I don't see color as a whole. I don't see color whether I could love someone, but I will say I am someone who sometimes I racially profile. Mm-hmm. I really do. And I'm not saying it's always in a negative way, but like, just an example, sometimes I say the term, that's some white people shit. Mm-hmm. That's racially profiling them. That's me seeing color, seeing character in color. And I don't mean it in a negative way. You know, I'm not racist. I have plenty, you know, I don't see it as a racist thing. I have plenty of white friends, and that's some racist shit to say. That's what they say. That's some racist shit to say, but I am somebody that will say that. I am somebody that will say that. So I will say that everyone does see color. I don't think that there's full truth in anyone saying I don't see color, because everyone sees color.
I profile like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like black people, white people, Hispanic people. Shit, when I was working at the airport, I was profiling every fucking body. Cause I was like, who's gonna give me the most money?
Right, but I guarantee you that profiling is way different.
Oh yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's different levels of profiling. Like I was saying, like I'm definitely in no type of way racist, but I see color. I do. Mm-hmm. I see color in a lot of shit that I do, and I don't mean it in a derogatory way towards anybody of any race, but I see it. So when people say I don't see color, there is no truth in seeing color or whatever, it's a fucking lie.
Right.
It's a lie.
It's a cop-out.
Everyone sees it. It's a cop-out. Everyone sees it. You may not see it in the negative way that other people do, so you could say I could love people of all color, which I will agree with that statement, but I can't agree and go along with I don't see color in every instance of my life.
When you think about it, you're completely alienating this whole other experience by just saying, oh yeah, I don't see color.
Yeah.
Then how would you relate to other people's experiences?
I want to, since y'all both are, you know, Puerto Rican, I did want to ask y'all, how do y'all feel like when y'all see like a fellow Puerto Rican that like identifies as a Caucasian person, not even like their Hispanic background, they don't appreciate it, nothing like that. Like what goes on in your head when you see that? Well,
keep it a sec. I don't think I've met someone like to that level, but I definitely have met people who are Latino, but they've grown up maybe in the suburbs or something like that,
Yeah.
and they may be surrounded by more, white people than Latinos.
They have no appreciation for the heritage whatsoever. They identify as
See
white
that
people.
that no funny shit would probably be like parenting, things of that nature. Because if they were, subjected to, what we grew up with when it comes to the Latino side at growing up, then they will be receptive to it. So who knows? Like I said, I haven't met anybody like that specifically, but I mean, I definitely have met the other people on the other side who are more like quote unquote white than Latino, and it's just experience, bro. It's just being like open-minded to the point that you're Latino, man. Matter of fact, like a family member of mine, like she's real young, she's Puerto Rican and white, but she relates more with the white side because she doesn't really have like Latino friends. Like
She doesn't speak Spanish.
She doesn't speak Spanish. Parents are like Jehovah's Witness, so we had a conversation like last year. She had a hard time like trying to find her Latina. You know what I mean? I'm just like, listen, it's in you. It's in you. Like you just have to understand where we come from. Our culture. Yeah. It's a rich culture, bro. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody to be pigeonholed. I mean, you are who you are. If you I told her, I was like, listen, if you want to identify as that, that's cool. But just understand that we have a rich, beautiful culture. I mean, don't let anybody tell you
any different.
That you're white, be white. You know what I mean? Like, I growing up myself, bro, like, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm full Puerto Rican. But growing up in Harlem, growing up in New York, you know what I mean? And I don't speak Spanish, people are like, oh, you black. You know what I mean?
Or you're white.
Know what I mean?
You either get the title of black or white if you don't speak
So it's
Spanish.
like, I'm not even Latino to
to
some people who speak Spanish.
Identify you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, yo, you black. Know what I mean? Like, you grew up that way. Like, you listen to rap and all that. The way you speak, you black. And I'm like, yo, first of all, we all black. I'm going to tell you that much. But I'm Puerto Rican, dog. I identify as black and Puerto Rican. 1,000%. So when people try to tell me, like, no, you're not Puerto Rican, just because I don't speak the language doesn't mean that we haven't grown up in the same, culture.
Right.
In the same family value system and everything that goes into that. And once again, that goes into being open-minded, bro. Those are like closed-minded thoughts when people say that shit. And like I get frustrated because I get that from like Latinos and shit.
Yeah, that would
but it's
be
like you don't know better.
Frustrating because like I've been to your household many times. The heritage is there. Like
it's beautiful, bro.
It's there.
Listen to Spanish music and all that, sazon, everything. But it's just being grown and just letting people listen. This is our culture, man. Have you experienced that?
I have. I do speak Spanish. I'm not fluent. When I communicate back, I have to think before I speak, so it's not as smooth. I dealt with it with my own family. Mm-hmm. Like all my family growing up in New York, like they all speak fluent Spanish because most of their households they didn't grow up English. Mm-hmm. When I lived with my grandma, you couldn't really speak English in her house. Like, so that's the only reason why I really got a piece of my culture. Because I was forced to speak it. Right. My mom didn't enforce it so much because we had a lot of American friends. And, when you grow up in a more, just growing up in the States, you have to speak English. That has to be your first language. That has to be what you know. And you need to know it fluently because people will look at you funny. Like my mom didn't speak good English growing up at all. She used to say visa instead of visa. Like it was... it was hard for her, so she didn't want her kids to go through that. Right. And we had a lot of American friends, so it was what it was. But then we get profiled by anyone else, and it's like, oh, you don't speak Spanish that well. You a gringa. Like,
yeah, 1,000%. Yeah.
That's what I am, right?
Something black people don't have to deal
like,
with.
You speak because you speak one language.
Right. Yeah,
but
that's another aspect I never had to.
But even like, especially when I deal with like, I have a lot of Dominican friends and a lot of Dominican households. You have to know Spanish. You don't really come across Dominicans that don't speak Spanish. You really don't. Most Dominicans you meet do because they're very rich in their culture, but they're also a lot more migrated than Puerto Ricans are. Right. And PR. They speak a lot of English unless you're going further out, like in the campos and shit in the mountains. Like, that's when you'll find people that don't really speak English. Other than that, everyone speaks English because you're taught it in school.
Yeah.
Like,
times growing up, that gives you like a clash, bro. It's just like, yo.
It does because they're like, you're not really Spanish.
Latino? Do I need to listen to more Spanish music? Mm-hmm. And all that? There's a whole
but if you try to, then they say, oh, you're trying to go with your white friends or whatever, or be black or be whatever.
Yourself.
And it's like, no, that's my culture.
Yourself. Twice. Be yourself. That's a fact.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we got into that conversation. I think that is important Because I don't think we've actually touched on that on this podcast yet. Just like growing up, you know, a certain background.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're multicultural.
You faced through it, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
multicultural. So I don't know what would be the same for you, like when it comes to like on the black side. But
do you know how to swim? Like, that would be the equivalent.
But no, I was gonna say similar to what I was saying before. I feel like the more like quote unquote, you know, you're acting more white than black type shit comes up all the time.
Actually, I've heard it from my mom a few times just based off music I listen to.
Right.
Like, people know I listen to a shit ton of different music besides rap and hip hop and shit, like rock and roll, shit like that. And my mom would say that I'm white.
You know what? I was labeled the white girl in my family because I used to listen to every type of music too. And my family is very like hip hop oriented. Obviously, my mom's Spanish and hip hop and stuff, but like my siblings are mainly all hip hop oriented. If anything, they'll step away to R&B.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that. Other than that, I'm the only one that really like sat down and listened to Taylor Swift. For example, I was a really hardcore Taylor Swift fan. Like, I was labeled the white girl.
Yeah.
Just for that.
And
yeah, I
in
had just
school,
as much of everything they have in them and
I
me.
heard that shit in school too because I hung out with everybody, not just black people. I didn't sound like, you know, niggas from DeLand and shit. I spoke I spoke more proper than them.
Right.
But so just off the way I spoke, niggas said they called me a white boy and shit.
Just conflicting, bro.
Enunciated and shit.
You get profiled in your own culture.
Yeah, your
like,
culture is definitely profiled. Your friends, family, they'll do that shit too.
And that's why I say we don't see color. That's a false statement because how the fuck you don't see color but you see the white in my voice?
Yep.
You see the black in a white girl's voice because she talks ghetto.
Right. Quote unquote ghetto.
Ghetto, whatever you want to call it. I mean, ghetto is a thing because it's not a race. It's a cultural aspect, and that could be any color. So, like, speaking hood, speaking ghetto, speaking proper, all that shit, they put a race to it.
I think that's
And that's what comes in when people see color.
right. And just growing
You
up.
could be a white girl
and
from the hood.
having
You could be a Spanish girl from the hood.
just having
Asian,
the balls, having the
fucking-
balls to be yourself, man. I think that's what, you know, separates people. Especially now, I feel like, you know what, I'm not even growing up like in this time, so I won't even say it because I was gonna say it may be easier now than ever.
I got little cousins growing up in these times, and I gotta watch over them. So I'm trying to.
There's
But
still
we
a lot
grew
of
up with
racist
social
shit that
media.
happens, yeah.
Who knows? Know what I mean? Like these kids growing up with social media and going through the issues that we had, they didn't have to deal with like internet bullying or whatever the case is. Know what I mean, it's probably magnified to another level as opposed to being like less. So I don't know. I think
I
just
think
the
the
main thing is
kids-
just be yourself, man.
Yeah.
Be your fucking self. I don't give a fuck when nobody says. Know what I mean, I'm comfortable with myself. You know, it took quite some time to, and I'm sure we're all on the same boat to just find yourself and like, you know what, I don't give a fuck. This is who I am, dog.
Yeah.
You know, like take it or leave it.
I think that's a good message to finish off with, is to be yourself and to love yourself and love every characteristic that you have to offer the world.
Right.
Because honestly, nobody else is going to be a better you than you.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. Shells?
any last? I'm good.
Thumbs up for the people
Gucci.
1,000%.
just listening.
That was a good conversation, as I said before, just transitioning from the Central Park 5 conversation to that. Because once again, I that is an important thing. And it still goes on today in our communities and all that. So, I mean, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it. Every week, talk about the good stuff, talk about some real stuff,
Bad stuff.
try to give you the balance. Know what I mean? But you're only going to get
Real
the real
life.
right here, Deadass. So,
Episode
I mean,
76. Oh, shout out to the Patreons. Well,
Patrons.
The patrons, right? I would say.
The patrons that have participated in our Patreon.
yes,
shout out
we
to all
appreciate it,
of those.
man. Greatly appreciate it.
Hold on real quick.
And all our new viewers, thank you. Welcome. Know what I mean? We got some Oreos on the other side.
Read those off.
Know what I mean? Listen, shout out to Spence. Big homie Spence.
Fancy.
My
Yo,
God.
shout out to Spence. We hitting the Tyler concert, my nigga. We going. Tickets going to sell Friday.
Shout
we
out
out,
to-
my nigga.
Hello.
We going.
Shout out to Jen, always. Shout out to
Shout out to Bay.
Shout out to her. Shout out to
Shout
Krikri.
out to Bay.
Know what I mean? Shout out to
Shout out to other
Krikri.
Bay, too.
Shout out to Carl Lewis. That's Nisa's mans. Know what I mean?
Yo,
You
get
got
off
a girl
that.
that's
Get a
Nisa's
Bay to
mans.
fucking contribute this so we can change it.
Shout out to Danny, man.
Shout out to
Big
everybody,
homie.
man.
Y'all be boosting us. Y'all allow us to do what we want to do on a weekly basis, and the content is flowing. Oh yeah, thank y'all for all the know what I mean, just everything, man. The outpouring of love that we began since we were dropping more video content and all that.
Yeah, it's a
we
lot.
hear y'all,
It's been a
we
lot.
see y'all, we appreciate you. Know what I mean, the numbers
All
been
over.
running up. So
it's good to see.
good.
Yeah.
Gucci
76.
signing off. Now I mean, we're gonna see you next week.
Yeah.